Welcome to the Three Mouseketeers, the sibling podcast that understands your Disney addiction. I'm Jared.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Emily.
On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the Flowering Garden and Food and Wine Festivals at Epcot at Walt Disney World. But first, we're going to do some trivia. I know you guys are excited, so let's go ahead and play. Question for this week is, what did Walt name his model train that he built in his backyard? Is it A, Flora Central Railroad, B, Roy Way Railroad, C, Walt Disney Express, or D, Carrollwood Pacific Railroad?
I think I have... Well, I know I have a reaction right off the bat. And I feel like I'm leaning towards the correct answer.
Okay. What do you think the correct answer is?
I think it's B.
You think it's B?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which would be Roy Way Railroad.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's that?
Because I feel like I've heard that before. I know Roy is his brother's name.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure. The other ones just didn't ring a bell to me. So that's what I'm going with.
I was thinking C.
Which is Walt Disney Express.
Just because it's more generic. I don't know. I thought this was going to be an easy one.
Surprise, it is not.
You lied.
Apparently it's not, because you both got it wrong.
Wow.
I didn't say that was my final answer.
Oh, well, too bad. You usually go with your first answer as your final answer. So the answer is actually D, Carrollwood Pacific Railroad.
Who is Carol Wood?
Don't know.
Okay. Really random.
I would love some background information on why it was named that.
Right?
Do I need to do my own research?
This should be your history fact.
Let me do a quick Google search and then I'll change my history last minute.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why Walt named it Carrollwood. I'm sure I could probably do a lot more digging than I have just to find this trivia question, but I just didn't. And I kind of regret it now. I really want to know why he named it this, but if somebody knows, please let us know on social media at T3M Podcast.
I did it. I found why it was called the Carrollwood Pacific Railroad.
You did? Okay.
Yes, it's actually in reference to his address at 355 Carrollwood Drive.
That makes a lot of sense.
You're welcome.
It does. Thank you for that.
Like,
And
I was on
now I don't
Wikipedia
have
and
to Google.
everything.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Well, thank you.
All right, Em. Well, I think that's going to get us into history. Why don't you go ahead and give us a history fact?
Okay, today we are going to talk a little bit about the history of the Disney College program. And I feel like we haven't talked a whole lot about the college program recently, so I thought that this was a perfect time. So, the college program began in 1981, and whenever it first started, it only had about 200 students from 20 schools, and they were only working in one theme park, and that was Magic Kingdom. So, it was called the Magic Kingdom College Program. And then in 1983, the program expanded to Epcot as well as Magic Kingdom, and they changed the name again to the Walt Disney World College Program. And at this time, it went from 200 students to about 500 students. And the students lived off property, well, kind of off property. They lived in a mobile home park that they called Snow White Village Campground. And then later they opened the Vista Way apartments, which actually are still there. And the students transitioned into those apartments from the mobile home park
Probably
in
a wise
about
decision.
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, hey, I don't know. I could see a mobile home park getting kind of rowdy with a bunch of college kids, but so would an apartment complex. So,
Yeah, I was gonna
It's like a
say. I mean,
dorm.
have you ever been to a dorm?
yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, in about 1988 they transitioned them into the apartment complex. And then the college program kind of became really started becoming pretty popular whenever Disney started becoming pretty popular in the 90s. And that kind of, I guess it kind of grew because of the internet and people being able to find out more about it and just having the accessibility of the internet. And yeah, so it continued to grow. And now, of course, we have the college program as it is now, where there's several apartment complexes, students from not only the United States, but there's the cultural exchange program as well. So other countries' students come here, and it's grown a lot from the 200 students that it was whenever it started in 1981.
I can tell you, I wish I would have known about this program whenever I was in college because that would have been amazing. I would have loved it.
I know it would have been awesome, and I did know about it, but I was too big of a chicken to leave home. But I wish I would have now looking back.
Right?
yeah.
I had a friend of mine. She was a couple grades ahead of me, and she went to work at Disney, and she worked on Main Street in the bakery.
That's
That's
awesome.
cool.
I knew someone from high school that went as well and did the college program, and I was always super jealous that I did not have the guts to do it.
Shoulda,
Yeah.
woulda, coulda.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Me too.
I did see there is lady there now that's in her 40s that is in the Disney College program. I would love to talk to her because that sounds amazing.
Well, that just shows it's not too late for us.
Exactly. Just have to go back to college.
Yeah. We'll get our kids all grown up and out of the house. I don't even have kids yet, but you know what I'm saying. We'll grow our kids up, get them out of the house, and then we'll go back to college. You and I can do it together. And Jared, you too, if you want. And we'll all join the Disney College program.
Okay,
Sounds like a plan.
sure thing.
All right.
Well, let's go ahead and get into our tip of the week. So, since this week we're talking about the festivals, two of the festivals that are at Epcot, I thought I would kind of touch on that just a little bit in regards to dining reservations. So, right now, dining reservations are kind of hard to get for especially some of the more popular restaurants. It's almost impossible sometimes. And to make it a little easier on yourself, especially on your Epcot days, you don't necessarily have to have a dining reservation. There are plenty of food booths that you can just get a snack and try several different ones from different booths, and it makes a great meal. It's a lot cheaper, saves you time of sitting down in a restaurant, and it lets you try several different things.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think that that's a really good tip. I love snacking, like at the different food booths during festivals and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's a very good tip. And you can try food from all different like cultures. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's a great tip.
I thought so.
Yeah, I don't think you necessarily have to have a sit down meal every day that you're there for every meal, like
You really
just
don't.
doing yeah.
Even if you're snacking through Epcot, you really don't need to sit down at all because you could kind of snack off and on all day and have plenty of food.
Yeah, definitely. I love to eat and I will stuff myself until I am sick. But sometimes at Disney I do think I get to where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I just had
Miserable.
like 3 snacks and now we're sitting down for this meal that we reserved a million days ago, so I have to eat."
Yeah.
And yeah, you just end up making yourself
Oh, and
Yeah.
by the way, it's a buffet and they
Yeah.
one set price and they keep bringing me food.
Exactly. So you don't have to feel pressured to book a meal for every meal. A sit
Right.
down meal, I mean.
One of the
Yeah.
things that people don't think about, I don't feel like people think about, is the time you're wasting during the day to have a sit down meal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some people see it as wasting. Some people, that's like what they enjoy doing. They enjoy sitting down at a restaurant. So it depends on the type of person and the type of family you are
That's
and what
very
your
true.
needs are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy having the sit down meals. It's nice, especially if you can book them for lunch, because then it kind of breaks up your day, gives you a little rest, and
True.
let your feet rest for a while, get some air conditioning. So
Yeah.
I enjoy having a break in the middle of the day and having lunch, but I understand it's not for everybody.
See, and I'm the type of
Yeah.
person I could probably just go all day long.
You also don't have little kids either.
That's true.
So
It's very true.
I feel like it's more, if it was just me going, okay, maybe not. I probably wouldn't go and have a meal, sit down by myself. But with children, I feel it's kind of important for them to have a little downtime.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think even it just goes back to it depends on the person because I
Take a
don't have
nap.
children. Yeah,
Oh,
I love to take well, I was gonna say I love to take midday naps too, but no, I think like I love sitting down at the restaurant, so and I wouldn't want to miss out on that. I could definitely see myself not doing like a sit down lunch and a sit down dinner and instead just snacking, but I do love
right.
having a sit down meal.
No, I can tell you, I did the whatever they had the dining plan. I did the deluxe dining plan one time
Oh.
and did all sit down meals. I'm telling you, I was so stuffed.
Yeah,
And I feel
that's
like
too
that's
much.
all we did was sit and eat all day long. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's too much. I just like I'm a big just traditional dining plan kind of girl. One
Yeah,
sit down meal a day, a quick service meal, and then like breakfast we just do like a snack.
right.
So,
Well, I did it because I wanted to try a lot of those two meal
yeah, it would be
restaurants.
good for that.
So that's why I did it. It was so I
Yeah.
could try those because we did like Cinderella's Royal Table, we did the luau. So we did a lot of things that cost 2 credits. So we would
Yeah.
just do 2 meals a day, but they were two sit down meals a day. It was a lot of food still.
Oh yeah.
I think
Anyway,
Epcot is, especially during the festivals, I think Epcot is probably one of the best, like, snack parks
oh
By
yeah,
to
far.
just go and grab something quick and just walk and
yes.
Yes.
enjoy.
But the thing is, it's pretty much always a festival at Epcot now.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, so anytime you go really Epcot is a good park to snack in.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into our segment of the week. This week we are doing this or that. And I want to know, if Disney were to create another international Disney park, where would you want them to create it? In South America or Australia?
Hmm.
Very interesting.
This
Why specifically these two locations?
Because I feel like these are two destinations that have been in talks before. I know South America previously, they've said something about maybe Brazil, but we also thought maybe Colombia may be another good option there. Um, and then I've heard Australia, rumors about Australia as well. So just
Okay.
curious.
All right.
hmm. This is difficult for me. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I can
thinking
see benefits on both.
me too. And I'd love to visit certain places in both areas. Hmm. Where would I rather go to a theme park though? You know, I'm kind of leaning towards Australia, I think.
what reason?
Um, I just feel like Australia has, man, you can say the same about South America. I was gonna say Australia has a little bit of everything, you know. There's beaches, not that Disney's gonna be on a beach, so but they could have like an Alani of Australia, not too far from the theme parks. So
Where you go and get eaten by crocodiles?
they're not gonna be in the ocean.
Yes, they
Yes,
are.
they
They're
are.
saltwater crocodiles.
Yes, they
Okay,
are.
well, no, lots of people swim in the beaches in Australia and don't get eaten by crocodiles.
But some do.
Most do
to,
not.
to scare the little kids at home.
Jeez. Okay, well, I still pick Australia. I think there's lots of wide open spaces, there's lots of land there, and it'd be a good place for a park. And yeah, I like their accents. So
Okay.
All right.
that's pretty much what makes my decision.
Interesting. I mean, I want to say Australia as well, but I'm going to go a little different. And I'm going to say South America. And my biggest reason is because it's closer to me.
Oh,
Okay. How much closer do you think it is?
I mean, by quite a bit. You can get to Brazil. Brazil's about 4,000 miles away, and Australia is about 9,500 miles away.
Yeah.
So I would assume if I'm flying out of Houston, I can probably get to Brazil direct. If I'm flying from Houston going to Australia, I'm probably going to have to stop in LA.
I feel like the chances of that are pretty good. And then if you are having to stop more or the flight is longer, then it's probably going to cost more,
Not necessarily.
but it's possible.
That is possible.
I mean, it's almost twice the distance. So
Yes.
I'm sure it's probably going to cost more.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, that's a decent reason.
I also think that just like Carnival at Disney in Brazil would be amazing.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. I could see that they could do some really cool parades and things like that for the celebration.
Yeah. True.
Good point.
And think about the birds.
The bird.
They could have bird shows like they do at Animal Kingdom. It'd be so good. I'm selling myself in general
Oh
over Australia because let's be honest, there's way too many things that want to eat you in Australia. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, you know, do they have big spiders in South America?
Probably.
Probably, but probably not as big
So-
as Australia.
Yeah.
You know,
I
that's
don't-
not those pictures of the spider webs in Australia. It's not all over Australia. You know that, right?
No, Australia is one big spider web of an island. I'm
Do you
That's how I
realize
see
completely
it.
convinced.
how big Australia is? Do you realize it's like the size of the United States?
Yeah, no, it's one big spider web. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
That's how I see it as well. But I'll still choose Australia.
Look, if something's not trying to eat you, it's trying to kick you. That's for sure. Kangaroos, no thanks.
Okay, but I do think that they could have an Animal Kingdom, like, or a version of Animal Kingdom, not the same thing, but that incorporates all of the animals of Australia. That'd be
That
pretty
would be cool.
cool. Yeah.
Although they have them in
Okay.
Australia, so I don't know that they would really care. But they may care that they bring other animals from other places in.
Yeah, but I think it would, you know, for people who are coming to Disney but not exploring any other areas of Australia, it could be a something that draws people in.
One thing that I would demand happen if Disney was to go to Australia is that they get the Irwin family involved. If they did like an Animal Kingdom style
Oh, heck yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be my only requirement for them to go to Australia.
I'm sure they
What?
would definitely listen to you on this.
Yes, they will.
But now I'm even more sold on it. If you get the Irwins involved, I love those people. That would be great.
Yeah. And they would make sure that the conservation is done correctly and the animals are treated with the utmost respect. So, yeah, that's my requirement. If it's going to be in Australia, the Irwins have to be involved.
I think they have something with the Animal Planet, though, don't they? So I don't know that they could do that.
I bet they
Maybe
could.
though, they could do a collaboration. They do have a current show. Is it on Animal Planet?
I have no
I want
idea.
to, I want to say it's Animal Planet,
It probably
but
is.
I think that's in direct competition with um, Disney. I think Animal Planet is a Universal property. I want to say.
Doesn't mean that they can't consult. I'm
Yeah,
not
they're
saying I'm not
just
saying like do a whole show. I'm just saying that
No, I know.
they should come in and help make sure that everything is run to a specific standard.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I mean, it's a more difficult decision. I think both locations have good reasons to have them. Um, I would probably choose Australia just because I really enjoyed going to Australia, and I also lived in New Zealand, which is kind of close to Australia. And so if I ever happened to move back there, then I'd have a Disney close to me. So I guess that would be my deciding factor between the two.
well, I think that's a good enough reason.
Yeah, because I think both of them have good opportunities on what they could offer. One benefit I think of having it in South America is the population there. There's just so many people around in that area that it could be a full park all the time.
Yeah,
Whereas
that
Australia is a little more difficult to get to. And there are three other parks on that kind of on that side of the world that are a little closer to get to: Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Tokyo. So I don't know. I can see how they may want to put it on a more in a more isolated area from other Disney parks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I agree. I think either would be cool though, but I think first and foremost they need to bring Disney to Texas. But that's
Yeah,
besides the
I
point.
I completely agree. Yeah. At least like center of the country. We have one east, we have one west. Let's put one in the middle. How about that? A good compromise. I agree.
Sounds good.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into our main topic. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Flowering Garden and the Food and Wine Festivals at Disney's Epcot. On our next episode, we're going to be talking about the other two festivals, which is the Festival of the Arts and Festival of the Holidays. So join us on that episode whenever we have that one. But tonight, we're talking about Flowering Garden and Food and Wine. Which one out of these two do you guys enjoy the most?
I I like both of them for different reasons, but I think I prefer Flower and Garden just a little bit more than Food and Wine.
It's the same for me. I prefer Flower and Garden. Obviously, love them both, but I really enjoy Flower and Garden.
I want to say Food and Wine just because I love to eat and I will drink wine, but it's probably going to be Flower and Garden for me as well, just because it's spring and the
Yeah.
flowers and it's just beautiful. And yeah,
So let's start talking about Flower and Garden. That's the current festival going on right now. It started March 2nd and will go until July 4th.
okay, 4th of July. That's interesting that they're ending on 4th of July. Do they always end on 4th of July?
No, I think it just happens to be when it ends this year. But it's usually around that time, the beginning of end of June, beginning of July is usually when it ends.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they probably have a big firework display planned for the
A
end of the.
firework display? Oh, for July 4th.
Yeah, for July
I was
4th.
like, what does that have to do with the flower and garden?
It has absolutely everything. It's to burn down everything whenever they're done with
Oh
it.
no.
Okay. I think the special fireworks for July 4th are at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, to me, Epcot is so beautiful during Flower and Garden. They have, at least this year, they have 23 topiary areas. God, that's hard to say. Throughout Epcot. And they're just so pretty with all the flowers and the Disney character there. I really like it. And it just adds a little extra to Epcot.
I agree. Anytime I go to Epcot now and it's not flower and garden time, Epcot seems plain. Like it doesn't look right to me. The Flower and Garden Festival just makes it extra beautiful and brings life to it. And I love eating and stuff, so obviously that's a bonus, but the topiaries are what makes it for me. And then on
Yeah.
top of that, with the flowers and everything, that brings butterflies and then little bees and all sorts of little good critters. We already know I don't like spiders, but the butterflies and the bees, I'll take them. And they have a butterfly garden, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, the Bambi's Butterfly House.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go through the topiaries real quick. Let's kind of talk about the ones that are going to be there. So we have Goofy, and that's at the main entrance. Sorcerer Mickey, entrance at World Showcase. Woody, Bo Peep, and her sheep at the Land Pavilion. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. That's at the bridge at the World Showcase. Pluto, Chip and Dale. That's at the American Adventure Pavilion. Buzz Lightyear near Mission Space. Figment, which is obviously the best one, near Imagination. The Three Caballeros we have at the Mexico Pavilion, which makes complete sense. Anna and Elsa at Norway, which also makes sense. Troll at Norway. Dragon at Japan Pavilion. Pandas at China Pavilion. Simba and Friends, and that's between Imagination and the Land Pavilion. Pumbaa and Timon, that's between Imagination and the Land Pavilion. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves at Germany Pavilion. Lady and the Tramp at Italy Pavilion. Beauty and the Beast at France Pavilion. Lumiere and Cogsworth at France. Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy in Germany. Peter Pan, Captain Hook, and Tick-Tock Croc between UK and Canada Pavilion. Winnie the Pooh and Friends at United Kingdom Pavilion. Tinkerbell's Fairy House Garden, United Kingdom Pavilion, and Bambi and Friends near Imagination. That's a lot.
Oh yeah, there's a ton. And then on top of those, there's also additional like garden areas.
Yeah, Global Gardens. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like life at Flower and Garden Festival.
Can you imagine how many hours the gardeners must take to create these topiaries and the displays, the gardens there? I can't imagine how many hours it takes.
I know, it's insane. A lot of work goes into it.
I'm going to say an hour and a half.
Mm.
Yeah,
No, not much at all.
no.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do. Here again, I think food is probably a big one. A lot of people love going to Epcot to snack. So one of
Yeah.
the things that I'm excited about is the Fruit Loop milkshake.
Mm.
Where is that? Because I did not see that one.
I know.
I'm not exactly sure where it is. I can probably look it up real quick, but it is at one of the snack kiosks.
Yeah, I went through and kind of found different snacks or drinks that I would like to try. And I did not see that one, though. I don't remember seeing that one. I thought at Epcot's Sunshine Griddle, which is near Test Track, the fried cinnamon rolls with cream cheese frosting and candied bacon sounded yummy.
That one does sound very good.
I mean, I love cinnamon rolls though, but the candied bacon made me like,
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at that same booth that has the cinnamon roll with the candy bacon, that's where the Fruit Loop shake is.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
It's the Sunshine
Sunshine
Griddle.
Griddle, yeah.
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah. You can get both of your treats there.
Yes.
Yeah. May have to try that. And surprisingly, this time, like with this menu, it's not all sweet stuff that I want to try. That was one of the only ones I think. At Hanami in the Japan Pavilion, I wanted to try the chicken yakitori because yakitori is yummy, and the ozeki pineapple nagori sake.
I love
Mm.
sake. So
thought
I
that
would be
sounds good.
down. I would be down for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. And then, of course, they have the classic frushi at the Japan Pavilion
Yeah.
booth. And that's very Instagrammable. And I know they keep bringing that one back year after year.
I
Yeah.
mean, all Disney snacks and foods are Instagrammable, right?
That's
They're
true.
IG worthy for sure.
And then at Jardin de Fiesta in Mexico, I thought the taco vampiro sounded yummy. It's barbacoa beef in a corn tortilla with crispy grilled Monterey Jack cheese, salsa ranchera, and esquites.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds pretty darn good.
Yes.
I also, one of the booths that they didn't have it last time I was there, but I think it sounds really interesting, is the Honey Bistro booth. And I know they've had this for like a couple years at least, but yeah, like everything is made with honey and I love honey. I know y'all like honey too. So,
Yeah.
um yeah, I would really like to try pretty much everything here. And they also have a honey peach freeze, two of my favorite things, honey and peach, and it's in a Spike the Bee sipper cup.
So cute.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, there's also like adult beverages you can try. I did
Oh,
see
yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah.
there was like a blueberry lemonade cider. That sounds
Yum.
pretty good.
That sounds good.
And there was
Mhm.
another one. It was like a orange cream ale. That sounds pretty good too.
I'm
Yeah,
not an
pretty
ale
much.
person. Mm.
It sounds good though. I would try it, orange cream. But pretty much every booth has adult beverage options as well as non-alcoholic options as well.
Yeah.
So you can drink around the world if you so please.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Now there one other non-alcoholic thing that I definitely want to try this year, and I know you've tried it before. It's at the Pineapple Promenade at the port of entry. It's a frozen dessert violet lemonade.
Yes, the violet lemonade was my absolute favorite thing that I had on that Disney trip, like the entire trip. Out of every park, every hotel, that was my favorite thing. It was so good.
Yeah, so I'm definitely trying that this time. And do you think that is better than the Night Blossom at Animal Kingdom?
Okay, see, I had that on the trip before I ever tried the Night Blossom. Like, I tried the Night Blossom the following trip. So I didn't try them in the same trip. Um, I don't know. I think they kind of have similar tastes, and I would say that the Night Blossom is a little bit better because of the popping boba and like the variety of flavor in it. But the
Hmm.
violet lemonade's delicious. It tastes like frozen candy, to me at least.
Well, I will be trying it. So, and I'm sure I will have a night blossom too. So I'll tell
Yeah,
you which is
you
better.
can compare.
Yeah. And the last thing I thought I really wanted to try was at Magnolia Terrace in America, and that's the Boudin Bites. Just because.
Oh,
Hmm.
I couldn't try those there. I would be disappointed. I know I would.
See, that's why I want to try them, just to see if they live up to, what
They
they're supposed
don't.
to be. How do
There's
you
no
know?
way. Because this isn't Louisiana or Southeast Texas. They're just not going to be as good.
You're probably right, but I want to give them a try just to see. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, well, you let us know how that goes.
All right. They also had like gumbo and stuff, and I was like,
No.
no. I am very, very picky about gumbo though, and most of the time, even at restaurants, I won't eat it just because
Yeah, it's not the same.
it's not the same. I'd rather do it myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
I
you got
do,
to be in the vicinity of Louisiana.
or at least know somebody who has perfected their gumbo that might live away from Louisiana.
I mean,
Uh,
we can't say that this chef doesn't, but,
yeah. So I do want to mention this. I do want to mention that there are some vegan options that you can find along the way. I mean, obviously, there's like avocado toast. There's some street corn. There's a which one is it? I can't remember. Trowel and Trellis has some Impossible sausage and kale soup and Impossible Korean short rib, and those actually sound pretty good.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know you're into your impossible meat
Yes,
options lately. So,
Yeah.
yes,
I mean, I think Disney's been getting better about having options for people who either have allergies or just prefer to not eat meat and things like that. So, yeah, there should be plenty of options for everyone.
were there any other food options that really jumped out to either of you?
I mean, everything sounds delicious.
just
I
all the
would like
food.
to just, like, I love whenever I'm there just to go from country to country and look at the menu at every food booth and then, pick the things that stand out.
Yeah. See, I am more of the I need a plan because lately it seems like all the lines at the food booths have been really long. So
Yeah.
I really don't want to sit and go through all the booths, stand in line, and then get up there and be like, there's nothing I really want to try. I'd rather go somewhere else.
Well, they post the menus out front so you can look before you get in line.
I know, but still, I'd rather have a plan.
Yeah.
Plan of attack.
So let's talk about some of the merchandise that you can find. Obviously, there's Orange Bird. I mean, there's a bunch of hats and shirts, and the jersey looks really good. Have you seen the jersey?
I have it.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Awesome.
Yeah, my
It's
husband
super
surprised me with
cute.
it. It is really cute and it's so bright and colorful. I've worn it once so far and I had like 3 compliments the day I wore it. So everybody loved it.
That's funny.
Yeah. So definitely get
Yeah.
that.
Well, and the orange bird ears, I love the orange bird ears. I think they are the cutest. And just in general, Flower and Garden to me has the best merchandise from all the festivals because
Yes.
I feel like it's very just bright
Bright
and
and cheery.
springy and yes, it just floral. So I love the Flower and Garden merch.
Yeah. There was a and it's probably not there anymore. It was towards the beginning of Flower and Garden. They had a sweatshirt that was for pass holders that was like a lavender color that had Figment on the back. It was so stinking cute. I want that so bad.
I mean, anything Figment, right? Speaking of Figment, there is some Figment merch that you can get. I mean, always there's Figment stuff at Epcot. And then also Spike the Bee. You can find some Spike the Bee merch.
I'm not as into Spike the Bee as I am Orange Bird, and Figment. I mean, he's cute, but I like the
He's
other two
cute.
better.
Yeah,
A Figment above all.
of course.
And then also, I guess there's going to be some Mickey and Minnie Mouse stuff.
I would guess.
I mean,
There was a really cute Orange Bird mug, too.
yes, the mug is really cute.
I want that mug also. I was like, we definitely need to go down there for Flower and Garden.
One of the things we haven't talked about the passport.
Nope.
So, I mean,
Tell us about it.
Okay, well, the passport is just kind of like everything you can find at the Flower and Garden Festival. So it'll give you all the activities and, just all the information you're going to need. So you can actually go through it and plan out what you're going to want to do.
That's pretty cool.
So it's just something that you like pick up whenever you get to Epcot and before you start going around to all the different booths and topiaries and all of that.
Yeah.
Right. So it has a map and it shows you where everything is, so you make sure you don't miss anything.
Yeah. I'm all for a good paper map.
Yeah. It also has like the merch options and stuff like that. So it's got pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Now, one thing for the Flower and Garden that I really like, and I'm glad they finally brought back, is the Garden Rocks concert series.
Yes.
And they actually have some like more popular people coming in. Some of the ones that I noticed that I recognized were like Toby Mac, Mercy Me, Plain White Tees, Daughtry, but there are a whole bunch. There is a huge list of performers that'll be going in and out of Epcot for this.
Yeah, and I think it's nice to just hear live music playing even if you're just walking around like in the vicinity of the concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's Disney, right? They bring like a lot of acts and stuff to the festivals.
Yeah. But the thing about these is they're free. I mean, they're just playing, you don't have to pay extra to get in. Now you can. They also have a dining package on Friday through Mondays where you can go eat at either Beer Garden, Coral Reef, Garden Grill, or Rose and Crown, and then you have guaranteed seating at the concert, which is pretty nice, especially if there's somebody who you really want to see.
Yeah, I feel like that would be fun, like you said, if there's a specific concert you're dying to attend.
Yeah.
So, kind of talking about like the special things that you're going to get. So there is something called the Garden Graze. Basically what you have is 5 specific notated menu items, and you go and you purchase them and you get your passport stamped, and then you can bring it to the Pineapple Promenade and get a festival exclusive treat. It doesn't say what the treat is, but it says that it's festival exclusive.
That's cool. At Christmas, they have the cookie stroll where you kind of do that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
So if you're just looking for something a little extra to add to your snacking at Epcot, and then you get the special mystery treat. I want to know what this exclusive treat is.
Look it up. I'm sure somebody has posted it.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure.
Probably licorice candy or something.
Okay, well, we've talked so long about the Flower and Garden Festival. Let's get into the food and wine.
All right. Food and wine, they've already announced this year that it's going to be July 14th through November 19th. Previously, they started food and wine in around the middle to the end of August. So they've actually moved it up a little bit, and there's only, a little over a week between Flower and Garden and food and wine.
Yeah, they're just pushing these festivals closer and closer together, and one day it will just be one big festival.
Yep, the Epcot Festival.
Yeah.
Festival of everything.
I mean, in this one, it really doesn't have like a whole lot of information on the website just yet. Like Amanda said, I mean, it's coming in July, so I'm sure whenever we get closer to the July 14th timeframe, we're going to get a lot more information. Uh, Obviously, there's going to be live entertainment. There's going to be food and wine. Imagine that, and also fun for all ages. So
Yeah. Yeah, so they haven't announced everything yet. In 2019, which is the last time they had the full food and wine festival, they had more than 30 food and merchandise booths, which is crazy. Like, that's a lot more than what you get with any of the other festivals. And the list of options was crazy. Like, I can't even imagine going to food and wine in 1 or 2 days. It feels like you need to be there the whole season to be able to try everything that they offered there. It was a crazy, ridiculous list.
Yeah, I think that's where living in that area would definitely come in handy because you could just hop over once a week and eventually try everything.
And I think that's why it's so busy on the weekends during food and wine. It's because of all the local people trying to get in to try all the different options from the food booths there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, food and wine, I mean, obviously it's in the name, food and wine, but that's the one that like I feel like people really, really want to go to eat and to drink around the world. Like food and wine is where you'll see some people getting kind of rowdy.
Yeah. And that's why, as a guest, hot tip for anybody who is planning a trip during food and wine, you try to avoid Epcot on Friday nights, Saturday, and Sunday. It is
yeah,
Oh yeah.
crazy on the weekends. So if you're going during that time, try to plan your Epcot day during the week.
go Monday through Thursday.
Exactly.
I would suggest a Wednesday. One thing that you can do, this is on their website as of right now. So there's the Remy's Ratatouille Hide and Squeak. So basically, kids of all ages can get their scavenger hunt uh, maps, and they can find Remy hidden around the World Showcase. And if you find all of them, you can bring it to get a special surprise.
Yeah.
Don't know what that
Now
surprise
the
is.
the scavenger hunt itself is free, but I believe you have to pay for the prize if you want it.
What?
So it's
Interesting.
like a souvenir.
Interesting.
Hmm.
What if it's one of those like $1,000 Mickey ears, Emily,
No,
and you get it for
it's
like
not.
$1?
It's absolutely not, and I worked my butt off on that scavenger hunt, and I deserve my free prize.
It's probably a tumbler. That's seems like what they usually give at the end of the scavenger hunts. So I can't imagine them giving a tumbler away for free.
Hmm. I don't know.
But I could be wrong.
What if they give you a Remy? And whenever I say that, it's like a full fledged rat chef that you can bring home with you.
Okay.
Let's don't. That's one way to get rid of their rodent problem.
Yeah, just send all the guests home with a rat.
Yikes.
All right, any other stuff that we know specifically about food and wine that we want to talk
Yeah.
about?
Well, I know that they are bringing back the Eat the Beat concert series. We don't have a list of the performers yet, but I would also anticipate that they're bringing back the dining package as well, probably the same restaurants. So just keep watching for what's going to be offered, like who's going to be performing. And as soon as those dining packages go on sale, if you really want to go see one of them, then definitely purchase that early. I know they do go fast. So
Yeah.
I know previous years of the food and wine, they always had low cost or free demos throughout the day. They also had seminars and special chef encounters. Some of the special chef encounters were like brunches where they had special fancy menus and multi-course. It looks like in 2019 there were so many options for special encounters, special experiences. Some of them where you like met with the chef and things like that. They even taught different cooking techniques and things. So I think some of those could be really fun as well. I also saw previously, you were talking about the frushi earlier, that they had in Japan, they had a frushi demo, I guess, and it taught the children how to make frushi.
Hmm, that would be fun. I would like to do that. Well, I think there's going to be lots of fun things to come, of course, at Food and Wine Festival. And I'm sure in the relatively near future, they'll be listing all of their offerings.
Yeah, I would guess in the next few weeks they'll probably be announcing everything because
Yeah.
they like to get people interested in it, get people excited to go.
Yeah, of course.
And it's getting really close to May now, so it will only be a couple of months and Food and Wine will be starting.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Something
just keep an eye out for all the updates on Disney World, Disney.go.
Now something else that it's kind of Food and Wine related is they do the Wine and Dine half marathon.
Okay, so you can drink wine and do a half marathon. That sounds fun.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is in the morning before the park opens, but I mean, they have different run events throughout the year in Disney, but this one is specific for the Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah.
And this year it's going to be November 3rd through 6th is going to be the Wine and Dine half marathon weekend.
All
So it'll be
right.
packed that weekend.
Oh yeah. So that's
Yeah.
a good point for people who like to run and also for people who like to avoid crowds. Keep that
Yes.
date in mind.
Just a good date to know.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the Food and Wine and also the Flower and Garden festivals. We will be doing the other two festivals at Epcot later on in the year, probably around the holiday season. But for now, that's going to bring us into mousekeeping. You can find our YouTube channel at bit.ly/T3M YouTube. That's all lowercase. And again, that link is bit.ly/T3M YouTube. Follow us on social media and interact with us. You can find us at T3M Podcast on all platforms. If you love the show, tell your family and friends where to find us. We only grow because of you spreading the word.
I'd love to plan your next magical getaway, whether you're looking for a Disney vacation, Universal vacation, all inclusive resort, international destination, or a cruise. I'm here to help. Contact me when you're ready for your free no obligation quote. And don't forget that my services are complimentary. You can find me on Facebook at Amanda.hollis, Capture the Magic Vacations, or send me an email at amanda.hollis at capturethemagicvacations.com. You can find my contact information in the show notes.
Be sure to subscribe to the show and join us every single Thursday to hear our newest episode.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for listening. You can also be a part of the magic by following the show at T3M Podcast on all social media platforms. That's T3M Podcast. Leave us a 5-star written review and we'll read it on an upcoming episode. If you have an announcement that you would like to have on the show or just want to reach out to us, you can send us an email at t3mpodcast@gmail.com.
Have a zippity-doo-dah day.
See you real soon.